Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. And with me today is Ariana Walker, the valedictorian for Booker T. Washington High School. And we also have lovely Jean DeGia, the salutatorian for Booker T. Washington High School. Go Bookers! Welcome to NPS Now.
Thank you.
Great to see you all. I will be at graduation because my son is graduating with you guys. So I'm very excited. It's that time of year. Parents are excited. So tell me, how does it feel, Ariana, to finally be graduating from high school and the top of your class?
Feels amazing because we've worked so hard to be here today. To know that all my hard work is paid off, that's really great.
I bet. And how about you, lovely? How does it feel to be number 2, which is great still?
Same here, because I didn't expect to be at the top.
So how close were you guys? Was it neck and neck to be salutatorian and valedictorian? Have you all been following each other since freshman year?
I think we just started really following each other this year. I think my GPA is actually like a 4.2 and hers is like 4.1 or something like that.
Oh.
It was like really close.
You guys were really close.
Yeah.
I mean, did you know one another were really close?
I didn't know until
No.
like in the first semester, but me and Lovely, we've known each other since she was like one of the first friends I made freshman year.
Okay, so you guys been traveling together through this thing academically
Yes.
since freshman year. Great. So what do you both plan on doing? I will ask you first, Ariana, after you graduate.
Well, I'm going to TCC. I got accepted into the accelerated program, so I'll be there for a year. Then I'll probably transfer to ODU, and I'll study elementary education there.
Oh, and then you're going to come back and teach here in Norfolk.
Yes, yes.
And what about you, lovely? What are you going to do after high school?
I'm also going to TCC, and I'm gonna do business and maybe transfer to ODU after that.
Okay, Monarchs. I see I have a son at ODU too. Matter of fact, Joseph's going to ODU too. So how has Norfolk Public Schools prepared you for life and for the future, you think?
Well, we've been here for a long time, and they have such amazing teachers that really help us, and you can tell that they care about us, and so they've been instilling values with us along the way to prepare us for now. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? How about you, lovely?
Same as she said, because I'm ready for after school.
So what's one teacher that's really impressed you or really impressed upon you pushing this year or last year or your whole academic time here at Booker T?
Actually, I go to VOTEC right now for early childhood education, so I'm in there. And my teacher there, Miss Spencer, she's been amazing. Like, she really cares about us, and we're like a small family inside that classroom, and I love it. And she's been helping us set goals and reach goals and encouraging us all along the way, so it's been really nice to be with her in that class.
Right. How about you, lovely?
For me, it's Miss Campbell from VOTEC last year, because she's been helping me set goals and stuff for my future.
And that's great. So what type of courses have you been taking to prepare you?
A lot of AP classes, especially this year. Then again, I said I'm in early childhood education, so that really helps me to get my foot in the door on for what I want to do. So I'm like one step ahead.
So you mentioned VOTEC, so you're there. What are some of the things you're doing with the classroom when you're there?
Well, right now I'm actually on internship, so every other day I go to Larrymore Elementary, and I assist with the first grade. So I work with the students and the teachers, helping prepare for classes, helping the kids do their work, so they're ready to go on to the next grade and succeed. And that's been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done, just to see someone else succeed and know that I helped them get there.
It's like
really
on-the-job training for you before you get there.
Yes.
What about you, lovely? What are courses that you've been taking that's been preparing you?
AP classes, and last year, computer information system at VOTEC.
So how long, so you all have been in Norfolk Public Schools since your freshman year?
Yes.
Have you been with Norfolk Schools your whole academic life?
Yes, I have.
Wow. No?
I've been in the Philippines for 3rd and 4th grade, and then moved here in 5th grade.
In 5th grade. Where did you go to school in 5th grade?
Sherwood Forest Elementary.
Forest. And what middle school did you attend?
Lake Taylor Middle School.
Lake Taylor
I was
Middle.
going to say high school.
I know, right? What about you?
I went to Commonplace Elementary, and then I went to Norview Middle School, and now I'm at Booker T.
So how do you think it will feel to finally cross that stage and get your diploma?
It's going to be so relieving, because this year it's been one of the hardest years. I worked so hard this year, so I'm just going to be ready to take a deep breath and be over with it.
Now, when you said you worked hard, what did you do?
Like I said, I have 3 AP classes just on this day alone. So it's like a lot of homework, a lot of studying, a lot of projects, especially right now, preparing for the AP tests. It's been a lot of work.
What about you, Lovely?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure, not a problem. What do you think you're going to feel when you walk across that stage on that day?
Sad because
Sad.
I'm leaving here,
Oh,
but happy because I graduated. And I'm leaving here.
and you're leaving. Oh, well, we're glad to hear that you loved your experience here in Norfolk Public Schools and that the teachers really meant something to you all. Wow. So it's just amazing just to see year after year we interview different students and their experiences and how they've moved on and they're moving on. So that's just awesome. What advice would you want to tell any student coming in their freshman year, getting ready to get started, to prepare them for their senior year? What advice would you give them?
To work hard, because I feel like a lot of freshmen, they come in and they, it's a new experience coming into high school from middle school, a lot of more people, and some people tend to like slack off a bit, but it's really good to like stay on top of your work, to work hard, and it'll pay off.
Right.
And
What about you, Lovely? What advice would you give a rising freshman?
To work hard and not procrastinate and not leave everything to the last minute.
Right. Okay, so that's for students, but what would you want the community to know about your education here in Norfolk Public Schools? What would you say?
That wherever you go in Norfolk, you're going to receive the best education possible, because you have people around here that they really care about you, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be involved in different community projects or clubs, because they're going to help you pave the way for whatever you want to do in the future.
That's great. That's great, Lovely. So what advice or what would you share with the community as to what you felt was the greatest thing here in Norfolk Public Schools that helped you?
That they help me a lot here, and they're the best at what they do. And that join clubs, because it'll help you in your future and make you have new friends.
Exactly. Congratulations, Lovely was inducted into the National Technical Honor Society on last Friday. So great. Well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank
I
you
look
for
forward to
having us.
interviewing your other salutatorians and valedictorians here in Norfolk Schools. So
Thank you.
congratulations,
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you graduation day.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we want you to stay tuned for more NPS Now.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Setmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we have 2 guests in the studio to talk about football. And we have Delton Cotton, head football coach at Norview High School. And we have Pete Allen from the city, Division Head of Athletics.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Coach Cotton, we're going to start with you. And we had an event at Lake Taylor High School. So talk a little bit about the event. What went on?
Well, it was a 5-hour event. I thought it was very, very. It was a lot of good information, and I thought that, I'm pretty proud that the city had an opportunity to invest in something that's going to help with the safety of our kids. But it was around blocking and tackling, and then it was sponsored through USA Football. It was great to be able to be in there with all the coaches from all the schools and some of the middle schools to be able to talk about what kind of safety things we can do to help football.
Okay. So we had the USA Football Clinic. So Pete, talk a little bit about what USA Football has brought to the table for us.
Well, we've been a part of USA Football for the last couple of years, and I've had the opportunity to go up to Indianapolis for the conference, and just bringing back the techniques of blocking and tackling. They have a new tackling technique, more of a roll tackle. I think it's like the hawk tackles. So just being able to be in an atmosphere where there's a lot of football minds and just kind of picking everybody's brains to see what they're doing around the country, and bringing back things that can be effective here in Norfolk.
Mm-hmm. All right, Coach, he mentioned Indianapolis, and we had the opportunity, you, myself, and Coach Sawyer, to attend that symposium to learn about USA Football, and we were able to bring that back, and that's what we're doing. We're instituting the USA Football program, safety program for our athletes. So what's all involved in the USA Football program?
Well, initially, over the last couple of years, they went more towards a high school, incentive with USA Football. Traditionally, I think it's been through the youth football leagues and all that kind of stuff. But just it was based around different things as far as social media, how to make our game, because football, in a lot of eyes is, it may be a dying sport. A lot of people have fears about different things that's going on in football. So it kind of gave us an idea of different things that we can say and talk about to let people know that football is a very safe sport, and that football is a sport that that teaches our kids a lot, and they brought that whole concept up to the high school level. So it was awesome to be able to be there with, you sitting next to president of a youth league or directors of communities. It was pretty good deal.
Okay. So the USA football program, there's 4 courses that our coaches had to participate in prior to allowing them to go through the hands-on clinic. And one you talked about was blocking and tackling. What were the 3 other ones?
Concussions, of course, that's a big issue in America, period, everywhere. Heat illnesses was another one, and also sudden cardiac arrest.
Okay.
So all good things that we don't want to face, but it may be something we face that we have to.
Sure, but having that knowledge and knowing what to do in those circumstances is critical. So Pete, talk about the collaboration that with the city and then obviously the schools. How can this translate and help each level?
Can I go back to this question real
Sure.
quick? Because he said something that was so important. He talked about all the different things that we've been learning, but one of the things that stood out to me was that while we were there, they talked about having a plan and action, and everybody in the city had a plan. So there's a plan for if these things have to happen, or there's a plan in place that we can make sure these kids are safe. But as far as like the collaboration with the high schools, I think it's important that as a youth league that we are teaching some of these fundamental skills so that when they get to middle school and get to high school, then they have some understanding of what these coaches are trying to teach them, especially going to the next level. There's always in anything an advanced level, so I think it's important to get the fundamentals and the foundation there so they can move them in the right direction as far as, especially when the game speeds up. Because when the game speeds up, then it's important that you do have the fundamentals there. But I think, with the coaches that we have at the high school and middle school level, that they're going to be taught the right way.
And I think, one, having those courses and having, that transition from rec to middle to high school, the parents know that, hey, somebody's taking care of their son,
Yes, sir.
teaching the right way, talking about concussions, talking about cardiac arrest, having that plan, like you said. But, obviously the big focus is blocking and tackling. And Coach, from your perspective, I mean, you've been involved for a while now. What's the big difference here? What's the big change that we're looking at?
Well, I don't think it's a big change. I just think that it's terminology, and we all speaking on with the same terminology. So if kids are hearing uppercuts or different terms at the youth league or the middle school, then when we teach them that stuff, it just kind of confirms it. So I think the biggest thing is, and most coaches have a pretty good understanding on blocking and tackling and keeping your head up and moving your feet and all that kind of stuff. But I think for the most part, the terminology is the biggest thing that's great about this whole process. It puts us all on the same page, and it's no room for for failure with that.
Okay, so one thing we got out of that, each school and you at Norview will be the player safety coach. I thought it was kind of unique to see everybody coaching everybody and getting those young coaches that we have up to speed with what's going on. So that was kind of unique with that. So a lot of good things, we hope will happen with this. So from a student and a parent, what would you like to tell the parent on why we're doing this?
Well, I would like to say this to the parents. It's obviously it's important. The safety is important. Norfolk Public Schools sponsored the event, did a heck of a job. Had the majority of the coaches there, so it's very important. So the safety of your kids are just as big to us as they are to you. And you know, we just want to make sure that we make sure that this game is a safe game, it's a fun game, and kids are able to get something out of it.
Okay. Pete, from the city side, anything to add to a message out for the parents and
Yeah,
the
I
students
think
that are
it's
playing?
important to understand that I love this game, man. Football is an awesome game, but it's important. Just like anything else, it comes with, you know, there's a risk in a lot of other sports. But I think what this says to the parents and to the community is that, hey, look, we're, you know, being proactive as far as going out and being prepared and making sure these kids are taught the right way from the beginning. And then having all the coaches, you think about this, it was a representative of every league in Norfolk, you know, so, you know, going back to what Coach is talking about, the terminology and being able to teach these kids the same way from, you know, recreation football to high school is important. And it just, you know, reaffirms what they learned as a kid. So I think the message to the parents is that, hey, look, the city of Norfolk Public Schools are being proactive as far as making sure that the kids are safe and can have fun and enjoy the game.
And just to kind of add to that from my perspective, you know, that was a requirement for all of our coaches. In order to coach with our middle schools and high schools, they have to attend, they have to complete those courses, and they have to attend that clinic to get certified in USA football. So it is critical from the school standpoint that everybody that's involved with our football programs goes to that USA football program. Yes, guys, again, we could sit here and talk football all day, but we're not going to let you guys. And appreciate you coming down here to talk about the USA football program that we got involved in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. We have two special graduates with us here today. Our first one is Amy Gwynn, valedictorian for Lake Taylor High School, and Zuri Jules Culver, salutatorian for Lake Taylor High School. Welcome, ladies, to NPS Now.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, good. Hey, it's almost over. We're counting down now. How does it finally feel to be graduating from high school?
I'm actually really excited, but I'm also like really scared to go out into college because I don't know what to expect.
You don't know what to expect. What about you, Zuri?
I am excited, but I'm kind of sad because I don't want to leave all the people I met behind. But I think it'll be fun to kind of grow up a little.
You said grow up a little. Well, I think college will help you grow up a little bit. Have you all been students with Norfolk Public Schools throughout your academic career here?
I've actually only been with Norfolk since 8th grade.
8th grade. What school did you attend?
Azalea.
Azalea. What about you, Zuri?
Been here since the beginning.
Since the beginning. What schools did you go to?
Chesterfield, Ruffner, and now Lake Taylor.
Oh, great, great. So what do you all plan to do after graduating from high school?
I want to be a biomedical engineer, but I'm starting out my career at TCC for the general classes first.
And what about you, Zuri?
I'm going to George Mason for a major in forensic science.
Forensic science. That's interesting. What made you interested in forensic science?
TV shows and
First
science.
48. Yeah, what about you, Amy? What made you interested in your career choice?
Because I've always wanted to be in like the medical field somehow, but I also like math, so I thought I would make a mix of both and just go for engineering.
So these are great ideas, great careers, but what made you come to these conclusions, and how did Norfolk Public Schools help you shape your thoughts about what you wanted to do?
I want to be a doctor at first, but then I decided it's going to be like 12 years, so I'm not sure if I can like continue that long. But then I also like math, since like I know if I have met some really great math teachers, so that's why that made me towards engineer for that.
What about you, Zuri?
Mine was kind of similar, except I met like really awesome science teachers, and then I kind of was just like, I want to do that, and then it just happened.
So what specific courses helped you come to this conclusion of what you wanted to do?
AP Calculus.
AP Calculus,
Yes.
Really? I think other people were like, no, but you saying yes.
Yeah, because I like math, so AP Calculus is like, I mean, it's hard, but it's not like something that I don't like to do, so.
Yeah, Zuri.
AP Chemistry.
You're making some teachers very proud today. AP Chemistry. Wow, wow. So you've been here, we've talked about with Norfolk Public Schools for a while. So what do you think you're going to be going through your mind, or you think it's going to be crossing your mind when you walk across that stage graduation day?
Right now, I'm just worrying about my speech because, like, I wrote it, but I don't know if I'll be able to deliver it the way that I want it to say, because I might be so nervous that I'm just going to trip up and stuff.
No, you're going to do fine.
I hope so.
You're doing fine now, so yes. What about you, Zuri?
My biggest worry is tripping on stage and then stuttering with my speech. But hopefully I don't trip too bad. We'll see.
You won't. You both are going to do fine. Have you already thought about what you want to say? And your topics?
I was going to thank my parents and then give some advice to like the seniors, but I think I'm going to edit it a little bit because all the other speeches that I've seen are like really great, and I don't want to just like say something so simple. So.
Right. And just real quick, I'm going to ask you more about your experience in school, but what advice would you give a high school senior coming into their freshman year into school?
Start out with the easy classes to make your way up. Don't start with like AP classes because it's challenging. So.
Did you start off with AP classes?
No.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Zuri?
I would tell them to take the courses that they're interested in, not what like the teachers tell them to take. Like, don't waste your time on something you don't want to do. That's all I would tell them.
Now, were you all involved in sports or any clubs or any activities in school?
We were in Academic Challenge and SCA.
Academic Challenge and SCA. So tell me, have you all been following each other since freshman year? I mean, to be valedictorian and salutatorian, has it been a competition?
I don't think it's been a competition, but we kind of know that we were going to be like the top two ever since freshman year. So
really? Now, how did you know that?
When I met Zuri, she just like I asked my teachers, like my counselor, and they told me I was #1 in freshman year already. And then I met Zuri, and I like automatically knew that she was just gonna be that person that's either gonna pass me or like right behind me.
So okay, Zuri, you heard her say that. What are your thoughts?
Well, it wasn't a competition because like we became close friends, and then for me it was like I just found out that we were 1 and 2, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool, no problem here, I'm good.
So how has your relationship enhanced your high school experience?
If we're in class together and there's a project, it's most likely we're gonna be partners, and that's
so you gravitate to each other. Okay, what are your GPAs?
Mine right now, the last time I checked was a 4.3, but I've checked again and it's like 4.5.
Okay, what about you, Zuri?
When I checked, it was a 4.49.
4.49. Great, great, great. So what do you want the community to know about your education here at Norfolk Public Schools? If you could tell anyone maybe moving to this city what your experience has been, what would you say?
I would say that you should join a lot of extracurricular activity because like it helps you with college stuff, and it's also more fun because you get to meet more people.
I would tell them that it's really diverse and to take all the opportunities that are given to you and go for it. Don't wait till last minute.
And you guys are so sweet because to know that from freshman year you guys were running neck and neck, that is awesome, and your classmates and friends. Well, thank you ladies for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or information you'd like to share, email us at nps_news@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.